All right. Shalom, Israel. All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the Commander Journey in Honda. Since 1969, we've been bringing the truth out. What is that truth? That truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people descend from the greatest people to walk this earth. All right. And that the men of this nation have a duty to do. We have a duty to revive our people, man. And we have a duty to come back together because that is the solution to getting us out this oppression that we are in today. You understand? We are being oppressed because our forefathers, which descend from the 12 tribes of Israel, God's chosen people, you understand? Our forefathers forsook the Most High God's laws. You understand? We do not keep his will today. So right now we are paying for our decisions. You understand? And today, the reason why we suffer is because we don't pay attention to our history. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe that there is even a God above us. We don't believe that there's one way of life. You understand? Only because of what we see in our everyday lives, man. We lean into our own wisdom. We lean into our own understanding. And that's what's destroying us as a nation of people. You understand? The Bible here holds our records. Just like all the other nations on this earth, they keep their records. So they learn because their records holds their mistakes. They learn how to prevent mistakes because they have their history. The blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people do not know their history. You understand? That's why we make our mistakes today. We make our mistakes today because we don't know our true identity. We don't know our true culture. And we don't know what our forefathers did to go into slavery. You understand? They teach us our history beginning with slavery, but we don't know why we went into slavery. And when you read in our Bible, which holds our nation's records, you understand? We went into slavery because we broke the commandments of the Most High God. And there was prophecy that if we did not listen to the Lord's commandments, that we will go into captivity under the ones we are oppressed by today in America. All right. Now, I came across today a brother at the sleeve, and he was talking to me about him being agnostic. You understand? He calls himself or identifies himself as being agnostic. All right. So I'm building with the brother and I'm asking him what that is. All right. So here's a definition of Merriam-Webster definition of agnostic: a person who holds the view that any ultimate reality, such as God, is unknown and probably unknowable. You understand? Broadly, one who is not committed to believing in either the existence or the non-existence of God or a God. A person who is unwilling to commit to an opinion about something. Political agnostics. All right. So basically, this person doesn't really want to believe in the scriptures of the Bible. He doesn't want to follow the laws of the Bible. He doesn't believe that there is one way of life. You understand? He goes off of the brother I was talking to today. He goes off of, a lot of science. You understand? He believes that science is, he believes that science is facts all the time. All right. So I'm building with the brother, and he's saying he just doesn't know. He doesn't know for sure if there's a God, and he doesn't really care to know that there is a God. He thinks that is just, he say, she say, and he feels it's just opinions involved. And I had to build with the brother. He's asking me a lot about history. And, of course, this is the result of this brother just not knowing his true identity. You understand? So off this definition, I'm going to just pull some precepts to allow you to, this is how you know that the Lord is actually relevant, because agnostic is a person who holds the view that any ultimate reality such as God is unknown and probably unknowable. So we're going to deal with that just to confirm to you on how the Lord is definitely known. And how? You go off of history. You understand? So basically his question today was, how do you know that the Lord is real? And he doesn't go, he likes to hear about history, the brother, but he doesn't rely on history. He believes that history is just a man's story that's made up, which I told him, hey, some scholars have their own hidden agendas, all right? But as far as the Bible has been tested so many times and proven to be true, according to history, right? So we're going to dive in a little bit. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28. Whenever somebody is hitting you, how do you know? You bring them to the curses. You understand? You bring them to the curses of the Most High God. How do you know that the Lord is real? Okay, so this is Deuteronomy 28. And it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, we already know that Moses, in the first 5 books of Moses, he's talking to the Israelites and no other nation of people. All right. Now, the Bible is keeping the records of the Israelites, their travelings, their oppressions, and when they succeeded and when they failed. You understand? When we kept the commandments, we were blessed. When we didn't keep the commandments, we failed. All right. So verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, and all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So let's go about these curses. And let's see if these curses fit or match any nation of people on this earth today in the present. All right. It says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. It says, cursed shalt thou be thy basket and thy store. All right. So cursed shalt thou be in the city. Now, what is that talking about? You understand? In the city today, okay, this is Trenton. So in Trenton, right? The blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people did not build, the governing body of the capital of New Jersey. You understand? We did not build that governing body. You understand? We don't sit in their seats and we don't sign the bills that are being enforced or passed in these courts or in these council meetings. You understand? We don't have no control over what stores are being built in our neighborhoods, and we don't have control over, what goes in and what goes out of our neighborhood. You understand? We are cursed in the city, and to be honest, we are at the bottom in these cities. You understand? You got people that live at the top in the cities, meaning they be living in these high buildings. If you go to Philly, you got people that have apartments in those high buildings, those expensive suites or whatever you may call them. And you got the blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people living in the ghetto, living in the in the hood. You understand? You go into the inner city. You understand? Where there's not a lot of historical museums around. You understand? You going into where the crime happens at. We are at the bottom in these cities. We are the cursed ones. And these are our neighborhoods. All right. Our neighborhoods is filled with drugs. Our neighborhoods is filled with, black on black crime and, missing children. You understand? These curses do not fit any other nation of people but the blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people. Yeah, they say, white people are in the hood as well. You understand? Yeah, but not the majority. Most of them are there because they were hooked on drugs, and who, in the world they say the ones who have the best drugs is in the hood. You understand? In the world, we always say if you want the best weed, you gotta go to the hood. We always say if you want the best coke, you gotta go to the hood. This is what we say in the world. You know what I mean? But hearing the truth, you will learn that that's not how we should be, boasting about ourselves, man. Because when you read these curses, it tells you that we are cursed in the city because we didn't listen to the Most High God's commandments. You know what I mean? So it says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field," right? So cursed shalt thou be in the field. We were the ones, we are still today, are the ones that's not even getting paid enough, good wages to pick the crops and farm land. You understand? We don't get enough. We don't have a lot of farmland. We don't have the acres. You understand? We don't have a lot of acres to where it's not known for us as a nation to have a lot of acres of land and providing our own livestock or food. That's not known for us as blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people today. You understand? We actually are afraid to leave the hood and even go out to the woods or to the to the fields to grow, to breed animals and whatnot. Man, we're cursed in the field. You understand? Our people are the ones picking cotton. You understand? We are cursed. Okay, so like, "Cursed shalt thou be in the field," verse 17. "Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store," man. We can't, okay, we have to go to their supermarkets to fill up our baskets of food. You understand? And what it means to "curse out thou be thy store," meaning our stores, it's hard for us to have our own businesses, man. You know what I mean? We don't support each other. We don't support black owned businesses. It's hard for us to get ahead because we are so cursed as a nation. We have an evil eye towards each other, and we want to see each other fall, man. That's what we do. We don't want to support each other's businesses. We rather support Louis Vuitton or Balenciaga, Gucci. We don't support our brands of clothing. You understand? So we got to go to Walmart to get our food. We got to go to other nations' markets. You understand? These markets are owned by different nation of people, and we are the biggest consumers of them. You understand? So basically, when you see in the first two scriptures that I pulled, 16 and 17, is letting you know the condition of the people, what condition that the Israelites are going to be in. All right. And the condition that the Israelites are going to be in they're going to be the most, they're going to be the highest consumers. All right. And again, this is how you know that the Lord is relevant, because these scriptures was written thousands of years ago. And these curses are only on one nation of people. Moses was only talking to one nation of people, and that's the 12 tribes of Israel. This is how you know that the Lord is relevant. This is how you know that the Lord is, his word and his laws and his statutes are still in effect to this day. You understand? Because in order to reverse these curses, we have to keep his commandments. All right. Let me get some more curses. All right, so "cursed shalt thou be," verse 19, it says, "Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. See, we as a nation of people, we have to always be looking over our shoulders, man. When we walk outside, we have to be aware of our surroundings. You understand? Our neighborhoods is not safe all the time. Our neighborhoods is not safe, man. We have to, because of all the drama we in, we have to sometimes go ahead and feel like we got to carry an illegal weapon on us, an illegal firearm, because it's not registered, so it's illegal in the state of Jersey. We feel like we got to carry that. You know what I mean? And that's because of what? The drama going on in our neighborhoods. And everybody wanna beef and gang bang. And you know what I'm saying? You chose a side. You understand? Sometimes you are born into a neighborhood that might be Crip, or born into a neighborhood that might be Blood or Lag King, and you feel like you had no choice to get down. So now what you did was you got down into a lifestyle where you now have rivals for no apparent reason. You know what I'm saying? For no personal reason, I should say. You now have a rival because you just got down with a street gang, and the big homies on the block told you that you can't mess with them people on the other side. You can't mess with the opposition. All right. So in our neighborhoods is known for gang violence. You understand? Is known for drive-by shootings and selling drugs, and you know just a whole bunch of gang mentality, gang activity. These curses is on our people. You understand? They making games about our type of culture. San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto, they make games out of us, man. You understand? Like they making these movies, about our culture, man. We grew up watching Belly, with DMX and Nas. We grew up watching the documentaries on the BMF documentaries, and we seen all of these movies, and it's only influencing us to continue to go into this destruction. It's not influencing us to you know change our communities and change our environment, man. And we're cursed. We're cursed as a nation of people, man, because we don't have this truth. You understand? We're not listening to the instructions of the Most High God. Why? Because who is to blame? The Christian church is to blame for that. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up Christian, and the result of the Christian church is the result we see today in our communities. All right? That's what you see today in our communities. You see drive-by shooters, and it's a church right there in the corner. You see people getting shot. You hear about stories of people getting shot right in front of their daughter, right in front of a church. You understand? Our communities, we don't show that we believe in the Most High God of this Bible. We don't show it at all. We show that we are in competition with our oppressor. All right. We show that we are just trying to make it and survive. We show that we are truly at the bottom. When you come to the hood and you from the suburbs, you will see that you are walking in the bottom. You know what I mean? You're walking in the slums. You understand? You walking where the streets ain't clean. You understand? You're not seeing the white picket fence and the green grass when you walk in our neighborhoods. All right? You're not seeing none of that. That's because we are at the bottom as a nation of people. We are cursed. No, but we can reverse them curses. I'm not just saying that we are cursed people. The only reason we are cursed is because we do not. I'm gonna read the scripture again. It says, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. We are being overtaken by these curses that are written in the Bible today. So this is how you know that the Lord is relevant, because, well, what people on this earth today are being overtaken by these curses, and that's written in Deuteronomy 28. So let's continue. All right. All right, let's drop down to verse 33. Let's start at 32. Verse 32. All right, this is what's going to another curse that's going to overtake us. Meaning, in history, this has happened. All right, this has happened to us, and and it's still happening to us today. All right, so this is Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand." So this is dialing in full detail, right? In full detail on Salah. This scripture right here is letting you know that your sons are going to be taken, and your sons and daughters are going to be taken by another people. You understand? Like I said, these curses get very detailed. You understand? To let you understand who the Lord's people are. Right? It's trying to help you understand that, yeah, a lot of people have been oppressed, but this is a separate oppression. You know what I'm saying? This is a different type of slavery. You understand? And this is present today. Right? It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand." Our sons and our daughters are locked up right now. We got the highest. We're the nation. We're the Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous people are highly populated and highly numbered in the prison systems today. We are crowded in the prison systems today. When them cops come and knock down your mother's door and take you out in cuffs, your mom is not going to be able to save you. Your mom is not going to be able to tell that officer to let my son go, to let my daughter go. You understand? And when they go ahead and sentence you, you understand? When the feds is knocking down your door, oh my goodness, they got something on you. So when the feds is knocking down your door, your mom and your daddy ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it, man. They lock you up, and because of what you've been doing, and they've been keeping a good eye on you for however long, for maybe 10 years, maybe even less than that. They got a lot of dirt on you. So what? Now they taking you and putting you in prison for what? 20 years to life, 25 years to life. You understand? Even 5 years, even 3 years is a lot. All right. You taking, you know, you taking the liberty of being able to drive a car and go see your girl and make babies, man. You taking that away from somebody, man, for a long period of time. Man, your father and your mother won't be able to enjoy you, man. They won't be able to see you grow. You understand? And in our neighborhoods, it's known for us to be dragged out the car by the cops and beaten to death or shot to death because there was a movement that made the cop feel threatened or scared the cop. You understand? And that's just present day. What about our history? This is also how you know that the Lord is relevant, man. Look at the history of our people, right? It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people." What happened to our sons and daughters on them plantations, man? When they got old enough to pick some cotton, which was only probably like 5, and not 5, maybe like 6. I'm just, they got sent deeper into the South. They got sent or to different plantations, and you never got to see your son or your daughter again. You understand? What happened to us when they came over and got us from West Africa? You understand? Kids was getting taken out of their mom's hands and their dad's hands, and they couldn't do nothing about it. All right, they couldn't do nothing about it, all because we choose to break the commandments of the Most High God. We choose to listen to that pastor in the Christian church. Or what else we do? We want to have our own idea of what God is. You understand what I'm saying? Or we choose to be agnostic. We choose to be agnostic where we don't believe if there is a God, or we don't. What's the definition? We just neutral. You understand? We just going along with the flow. That's what the brother said. He's just neutral. He's going along with the flow. What else that brother said? He said, if he supports people whatever they believe in. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. He said he supports whatever they believe in, and we had a long talk because he started to say he believes in the right and wrong. You understand? He believes in the right and wrong. And I'm just getting deeper with the brother. I'm letting him know. I'm like, okay, well, these different cultures have different right and wrongs. You understand what I'm saying? He believes in the American way. All right? He believes in the American way, and we all know the American way is wrong. He believes in voting, and we all know that's wrong. You understand? He believes what the Americans believe, man. He believes that Christmas is for the kids. He don't care about the real history of it. You understand? He just looks at it as something for his kids to do. And in all reality, that's wrong. That's wrong. And that's why our people are being oppressed today. You understand? We're being oppressed because we just don't care. We don't care to study. We don't care to read up on our history and deal with the facts and deal with reality. We rather live hypothetically. We rather live through theories, right? And hypotheses. We rather live through science. We rather believe in the Big Bang Theory. We rather believe in the Bering Strait, all of that. We rather believe in anything that our oppressor tells us to believe in. Why? Because we love our oppressor. We love being American. And we don't see ourselves as being oppressed. I asked his brother today because he explained to me, his life is just waking up, going to work. And, even if he heard the truth, he can't do nothing about it. So, why even try and change the world? This is the spirit that this brother had no hope, man. He had no hope, no fight in his heart. You understand? And that's what I've come to summarize what an agnostic person is, man. Somebody that doesn't got no fight in their heart, no hope, no faith at all. You might as well just say you're atheist. You don't believe in nothing. So, and this is why our people are destroyed today, man. This is why our sons and our daughters are given to another people. And we ain't got no strength. We ain't got no strength to fight and get them back. You understand? We can't go into that courtroom and take our son off that stand. We can't go into that courtroom and pop them cuffs open. We ain't got no strength to do that. and you can't say that we are all the same, man, because this is the same government that oppressed our people in slavery, man. It's the same government, the same judges, all right? And they are arresting our sons and our daughters. You understand? It says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And thou shalt only oppress, and thou shalt be, Salakia, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Right. And this is what I was telling this brother, man. Like, we are oppressed. For you to wake up and feel like you ain't got no hope and you just go to your 9 to 5, man, we are oppressed as a nation of people. You understand? This is an indigenous brother, right? This is an indigenous brother. And this is a good scripture for him to understand. You understand? Verse 33, the fruit of thy land. So all that his forefathers did, all of that the indigenous people built, all of their crops, all of their animals that they've, raised up, all that land that they had. Let's read the curse. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. Now, if we go back into the history of Christopher Columbus, we can understand how this scripture has been fulfilled, how this curse is in history. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Columbus was a man, a Spaniard man, who had a Hebrew interpreter. You understand? He had a Hebrew interpreter when he came to the Americas. You understand? What is his name? Luis de Torres. Luis de Torres was a Hebrew interpreter, and he was the one who had to, communicate for Christopher Columbus with the chiefs of the tribes of the Native Indians when they came over here. You understand? So they was a nation unknown. Like, Christopher Columbus came over here. They tried to say that he was looking for new land. You understand? So when he came over here, he was a nation. He was with a nation of people unknown to the indigenous people, right? And what did they do? They took the fruit of the land of the indigenous people. You understand? Right? And they took their sons and their daughters into captivity and oppressed them. You understand? They oppressed them. They stole everything from the indigenous people. All right. Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Man, we are still mad today. We are mad at when we read our history. We are so mad that we don't have no justice. You understand? If you are a man that's righteous, you must believe in justice. And the blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people have no justice. You understand? There needs to be justice for what our oppressors done to us in history. And we're mad today. The scriptures say a wise man is mad in his oppression. We are mad today in our oppression. When you start reading our history, reading about who we was in the dark ages, reading about us in the scriptures, man, how the Lord chose us to be a special people above all people on the face of the earth. Now look at us. We are at the bottom because we can't seem to have any type of form of compassion for one another. You understand? We have to have an evil eye towards one another. And that evil eye towards one another is also a curse written down in Deuteronomy 28. You understand? We're going to get to it. All right. Verse 35. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with the sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. 36. The Lord Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, until a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Now, what did the Spaniards teach the indigenous people, man? They taught them that Catholic religion. And what did the Protestant church teach the black man what did the Protestant church teach the black man? They taught us that Christianity. You understand? They gave us the slave Bible. All right. And what that slave Bible did, they gave us the worship of another God. You understand? Their God, how they interpret the Bible to us. You understand? That's what it means right here. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. That wood is representing the Christian church, and that stone, that's representing the Kaaba stone in Mecca, the nation, the Muslim doctrine. You understand? You go to Philly today, or you just know a brother that been to jail and took his shahada, and now he's saying, "Oh, you know, all praises to Allah." That's what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? We have been oppressed and been given other gods, man. And the two religions that the blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people fall into is that Christian church or Catholicism and the Muslim religion, man. And that's that wood and stone, right? 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. We are a byword to these other nations, man. They call us every other name of mockery other than our true identity. They call us niggers, spick, wetback. You understand? They don't call us our true identity. They don't call us an Israelite. They won't allow us to be called Jews. You understand? But that is our true identity. All right. Here we go. Let's get deeper. Verse 41, it says, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And that's what's going on today. That's also another precept about how we are in these prisons, man. How in history we was the ones on the slave boats and in the cotton fields and doing anything for master. You understand? We was in a house serving him tea and taking and our woman was taking care of the babies, nursing the babies. That's what we were doing. You understand? Our kids was learning to obey master on the plantations. You understand? Our kids was taken into captivity, man. We did not enjoy to see our kids grow up in life. You understand? Some of our kids probably were killed in captivity. We didn't enjoy our kids growing up in life. You understand? Our black, Hispanic, indigenous people went through hell for America. You understand? For to be built, man. America has been built off of the blood, sweat, and tears of our people, man. The destruction of our people, America is built off. You understand? Mm-hmm. Verse 48. Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Come on, man. You look up them pictures of us when we was on them slave boats, when we was in that transatlantic slave trade. You look up them pictures of us, man, when we was on them plantations. We were begging for clothes. We were begging for food. We were begging for water. You understand? They had a yoke of iron on our necks. Like we were some dogs, like we were some savages, man. Walking in line with chains on our necks. Like it was like a collar on our necks. You understand? Our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. And this oppression that's written about in these curses, they don't fit the Chinese man. They don't fit the East Indian. They don't fit the Ethiopian, the Nigerian. You understand? They don't fit these other nations of people. These curses dials in directly who the Lord is talking about and directly on who the Lord is punishing today. And the Lord is punishing us today because we refuse to listen to his instructions. All right. Verse 49, it says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So it's again, again, man, our indigenous people did not see it coming when Christopher Columbus came over with his people, man. You know, understand? They had a tongue that they did not understand, but Christopher Columbus had a Hebrew interpreter. You understand? And Christopher Columbus was so driven to bring something to the sovereigns back in his land that he was coming from. You understand? He was so driven to bring back some merchandise. And we became that cargo that has been transported through the four corners of the earth. You understand? This is history. Black man, Hispanic man, and indigenous people. And the history is how you show how the Lord is relevant, man. You're testing these scriptures, and these scriptures prove to be right every single day. You understand? They prove to be true. You understand? And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies. And I just want to add something too, man. What does the United Nations exalt themselves as, man? What is their symbol? You know what I mean? It's the eagle. America, they love to to identify themselves also as the eagle, man. A high predator in the sky. You understand? A strong bird that could go ahead and pick a muskrat out the water and devour it. You understand? Like these are strong birds, and they trying to, exalt themselves as the eagle, man, a predator of other animals, a predator of other birds, man. America loves that eagle. A nation whose tongue shall thou not understand. So what we forget is just because we're Hispanic, man, just because they call ourselves Hispanic, I'm talking about the Taino tribes, the Aztec and Mayan people, you know what I mean, like which is the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans today. There's Panamanians, you got the Panamanians and all of these Spanish speaking brothers and sisters, man. That language was given to you by oppressor, man. We have to ask ourselves, what language did we speak before captivity? You understand? What God did our forefathers worship before captivity? You understand? We need to challenge we need to challenge the education that is being taught to us in these high schools, man. You understand? They got control over all of the education. So we need to challenge that, man. The Bible reveals everything. It reveals the lies in this world, and the Bible tells you the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You understand? Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. Man, our grandpas were still working in that field. You understand? And they don't care who we are, man. You could be old in the traffic stop, they still going to wrestle you down to the ground. You understand? They still going to put their knee in your neck. You know what I mean? They don't got no favor if you old. They don't care if you're young, man. They shooting you 9 times. They emptying the clip on young kids, man. They emptying the clip on them. You understand? Let's moving on. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. This is a curse that's very known in the black community, man. In the black, Hispanic, and indigenous people community. The man that was tender. See, before when we was keeping these commandments, man, we was loving one another, having compassion with one another, man. Didn't worry about a brother sleeping with our woman, man. We was keeping these commandments, right? And we was there, man. We had compassion. That's what I mean by very delicate, man. We was a compassionate brother. We was sincere with one another, right? It says when we break these commandments over time, this is what's going to come to happen. His eyes shall be evil toward his brother. This is what's going to happen, man. You're going to start to, man, envy your oppressor, right? You're going to be envious towards your oppressor. You're going to hate that you don't got what your oppressor got what your oppressor has, which is the wealth. So what you do, you'll go ahead and sell drugs to your people to benefit yourself. You understand? You'll rob your people to benefit yourself, right? You'll even murder to benefit yourself. You understand? That's having an evil eye towards your brother, man. You're having an evil eye towards your neighbor. We're breaking that commandment. We should be loving thyself. We should be loving thy neighbor as you love thyself. Love. You're breaking that law. You understand? You're supposed to love your brother. If you love your brother, then that means you love the Lord. You understand? You shouldn't have an evil eye towards your brother and still try to say that you love the Lord. Right? That's not how things work. You understand? His eye shall be evil toward his brother. This is where the black on black crime comes from. You understand? Because we are so oppressed and so poverty stricken, this is the curse that's going to fall upon a poverty stricken people. You understand? Oppressed people. The father will leave the household, right? It says, and toward the wife of his bosom, right? You got the men in the household abusing women. You understand? You got the men in the household having them sell their bodies to get money to pay the rent. You understand? They got that movie Hustle and Flow pushed in our communities. You understand? What is that doing? That's influencing the young man. That's influencing young. That becomes one of his favorite movies, right? And what does that young man grow up to be, man? Shoot, he may not be a whoremonger, but he will be treating. It's a high risk of him treating, woman the wrong way. You understand? And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. The black community has a high number of broken households, and the black man is known to have. Okay, the black man is known to have the father not in his life, or have a deadbeat father. You understand? And this is because, man, we have lost our way. We've lost our way. We lost our morals. We don't know how to communicate, and where there's no negotiation, there's conflict. And that's what's going on in our communities, man. We don't have any idea on how to be a man. We don't have any idea on how to be a woman, nor do we have an idea on how to be a husband or a wife. You understand? And our children suffer from that. You understand? The way that the law endure forever is by teaching it to our children. And we're not supposed to be teaching our children to have broken households. We're not supposed to, as a man, be gone and don't care for our young. You understand? And women shouldn't chase a man off, man. A woman shouldn't, put him on child support. Now he's getting arrested because we already broke. We already at the bottom. That 18 an hour, man. You now put the judge in charge of what this relationship is supposed to be. You understand? You now got the judge telling this man what he has to pay. And that judge don't know anything that man is doing. That judge don't know anything, any goals of his. That judge is now saying you got to pay $500 a month. You got to pay this amount of money a month. plus your bills, plus anything else you got to do, plus your car note, plus all this stuff, plus your insurance. You understand? Plus your rent. And women just don't care. Why? Because they're using the kids as a weapon. You understand? Verse 56. This is for the sisters as well. The tender and delicate woman. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, man. Our women were so sweet, so fine that they didn't even want their feet dirty. They didn't even want their feet dirty. You gotta remember when these scriptures was written, man. It wasn't no paved roads out there. It was the dust of the ground on them dirt roads, man. They didn't want to set their foot upon the ground. That's how delicate and tenderness our woman was, man. So beautiful, right? It says, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. So her husband, her eye will now be evil towards him. You understand? And this is where I was talking about how the child support, man, the sole custody, kicking them out the house. Yeah, it's your dad's house and he's living there, so you kicking him out. You getting your dad involved, so now your dad trying to kick this man out. You understand? You calling his PO. You know what I mean? You calling his PO for the pettiest things. Now he getting back into prison. You understand? It says, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and towards her daughter, man. There is deadbeat moms out there who can't stay off that stripper pole, who can't stop being a whore in the streets. You understand? They'll rather be on the streets tricking rather than being a mom at home. You understand? They tell themselves, man, like, I'm just not ready to be a mom. So what they do, they leave their kids at grandma's house. They leave their kids at their mom's house and have the grandma raise the kids while they go ahead in their life and have a pleasurable life filled with a whole bunch of sex and selling her body. You understand? Or, whatever the hell, women out here doing today. You understand? But there is deadbeat moms out there. And that's a curse on us as a nation of people. That is what, a fallen nation will eventually amount to. The men killing each other, black on black crime, women even killing each other, and being deadbeat moms. You understand? Being abusive to their husband. It's a whole bunch of domestic violence cases and everything. A whole bunch of domestic violence cases, man. You already see what's going on with Blueface and his girl. All right, so you gotta be cautious out here, man. This is a curse that's on us as a nation of people, man, and it's all because we are being oppressed, man. We have lost control. We have lost the order in our nation. You understand? And as men, it's time for us to get things back into control. We need to work on ourselves so that our women can follow and our kids can follow. We need to be leaders again in our communities. We need to be the ones who's getting our people off of drugs, man. Stop being so selfish and trying to do things for your own benefit, your own gain. You're killing somebody else's life so you can have a better life. Man, that's Satan. That's the work of Satan. That's the will of Satan. You understand? You're killing somebody else's life because you're jealous. You're jealous. You have an evil eye toward them. You don't want to see them prosper. You understand? You trying to be at the top where the oppressor is sitting and have business meeting with the oppressor, but you don't want to go back into your neighborhood and change your neighborhood, man. You want to leave your neighborhood and leave the people behind. You understand? When I don't, as a nation of people, we don't amount to nothing. When we do that, man, we need to go back to our neighborhoods and revive our neighborhood, man. Give our people some hope. Give our people, some teach them faith. You understand? You have hope through these scriptures. Teach them our history. Here in the ISUPK under command Jenny and Hannah, man, the brothers is on the corners Fridays and Saturdays, sacrificing the times on their days off, man. And sometimes we go in there after the slave, man, to talk to our people through the microphone, yelling at the top of our lungs to get our people to hear that they are God's chosen people, that they are special people, man. You understand? Here in our ISUPK, we giving you some practical knowledge of your life, man. That the Lord is definitely relevant, man. And He's raising up prophets of the Lord today. And here in the ISUPK, I'm gonna learn how to be a prophet of the Most High God and prophesy the truth to your people. Deliver the message to your people. It's the high time to get in class and study. A high time to stop your sinning and turn your life around for the better. What is this life giving you but destruction? What is this life teaching you but vanity, meaning worthless knowledge, man? What is this life teaching you? You understand? It's teaching you to hate each other and be selfish. All this independent talk, man. We need to depend on one another for a change, man. We shouldn't have to depend on these other nations. We shouldn't have to go ahead and depend on the Democrat Party, the Republican Party. Let's depend on the men of the Lord and the ISUPK, man. Let's depend on one another. Let's depend on the Lord, the Lord's will, which is written in this Bible, man. Let's get out of this oppression. What we sleeping for? You understand? What we sleeping for? Let's wake up, man. Let's wake up. Put our black boots on and go out there and take some ground. Let's get our neighborhoods back, man. Let's get our people back in shape, man. Mentally, spiritually, all of that. Let's get our people back in shape, man. Because the Lord is a man of war. And it's time to build his army back up, black man. It's time to build his army back up. You understand? And Commander Jenny Yohana has been standing tall and standing bold, trying to teach his brothers and sisters, man, that this is the high time to get your life and re-examine it and turn around for the Lord, man. The Lord that loves you. You understand? And this love is correction. You understand? All we have to do to reverse these curses is come back to his commandments. And you will see your people back on top. You will see your people back on top. And generations come, you will see your people on top. All right? Let's keep on reading. Verse 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other, and there shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. There go that wood and stone again, that Christian church, that Muslim doctrine, reading out the Quran. You understand? We will be scattered from the four corners of the earth, is what that curse is saying, man. Among all people, we are everywhere. We're not just in the Americas. We in Brazil. We in the UK. We in Panama. You understand? We in Jamaica. We are everywhere. In El Salvador. You know what I'm saying? We everywhere. Ecuador. We are all over. And we are being oppressed in every single kingdom that we are scattered to. I'm gonna read this again. It says, the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shall serve other gods, man. And the reason why we are oppressed in these other places is because we are serving the gods of our oppressors, man. We are at the bottom because we are not being taught our culture, our identity. And the ISUPK is fighting for our people to regain their life back, regain their identity and their integrity, man. Verse 65, and it says, among these nations shalt thou find no ease. We don't find no ease living in the Americas, man. We won't find no ease. We got to go to work all the time. We're getting taxed all the time. Our people are being killed, even though we getting rich. And some individuals getting rich, our people are still in the gutter, man, being killed for no reason by cops. You understand? There's still brothers getting on death row, and you understand this. Still brothers being, their freedom is taken away. We are being oppressed. We find no ease, man. The harder we try and get ahead in this life, man, the more the oppressor makes it harder for us to get on top. The oppressor wants us to conform to his way of living, and he'll go ahead and give us a gift. That's what it says in the scriptures, man. A wise man is mad in his oppression, and the gift destroyeth the heart, man. You know what the scriptures say. Among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, man. We're going to always be working. We're going to always be working. We got to build our businesses, and sometimes they make our businesses crumble. They make it harder for us. You understand? But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind. Like I said, man, in our communities, man, we have a sorrow of mind. We ask the Lord why we going through this, and why He put us here. Why my mama crack at it? Why my dad not here? We showing a trembling heart, man. And a life shall have and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And that right there is an agnostic man. You understand? And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. Now, what's the definition of agnostic again? Right? A person who holds the view that any ultimate reality, such as God, is unknown and probably unknowable. Broadly speaking, one who is not committed to believing in either the existence or the non existence of God or a God. A person who is unwilling to commit to an opinion about something, or political agnostics. You understand? Man, this person is neutral. He doesn't know what to believe. He ain't going to commit to it. He just feels that, I can't go off of what's written in the book. You understand? You live in doubt, man. You're living in doubt. And the result of that is what it is. And thou shalt fear day and night. You live in doubt because you don't believe that this Bible is the solution of getting your neighborhood back together, making your neighborhood strong, man. You walk out your door and you always seeing drive-bys and witnessing crimes, man. Witnessing the crack fiends and people that's just being destroyed, homeless people in your neighborhoods. This is why you hang in doubt. You understand? And thou shalt fear day and night, man. You just don't know if it'll be the day or the night that you might get robbed at gunpoint and your robber might shoot you. You understand? You just don't know. You don't know. You understand? You don't know when that person you fought last week is meeting you around this corner. You just don't know. You understand? And shall have none assurance of thy life. All right. Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee, this is the last scripture, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right? So the Lord is going to bring, this is in history, again, this is written in history for all you agnostic believers out there that call you identify yourself as being agnostic. You understand? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning our land, we won't see our homeland again. You understand? Does that fit the Black, Hispanic, and indigenous people? Do we know what land we come from? They tell us we come from Africa, but Africa didn't come get us. They tell us all this other stuff, but it doesn't seem to make sense. You understand? It says, by the way whereof I speak unto thee, Thou shalt see it no more again. We won't see our homeland again. And what does the Egypt mean? All right, it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, right? Egypt means bondage according to the scriptures. Bondage means slavery. So we will be enslaved by ships. What nation of people were enslaved by ships? You understand? And died by the millions. You understand? By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen, meaning slave men, and bondwoman, meaning slave woman, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man was going to redeem us out of this captivity until Christ's return. You understand? We were brought here on ships. The Negro man was brought here on ships, and we are still here today, man. Malcolm X couldn't get us out of here. Martin Luther King led us into a burning house, and Marcus Garvey tried to take people back to Africa, and yeah, man, we still here. You understand? We still here in America, being oppressed, like the scriptures say, always, and our sons and our daughters is being taken away from us. We still have no might. We can't see them grow up because they're being killed. This is a statistic that they won't even make it to 18. And like it's just bad in our communities, man. We have an evil eye towards one another. Our women are putting us on child support, and they're aborting their babies. Shalaki, I meant to go to that. This is for the women. Verse 57. And toward her young that cometh out from between her feet. This is for the women. You understand? It says, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. You understand? The woman, let me read from the top. Her eyes shall be evil toward her bosom of her. Her eyes shall be evil to the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. And our women are at the highest rate of numbers to be getting abortions. And this is a curse. They don't want to see us create life. They don't want to see us have a lot of kids. You understand? They want to control our environment. They want to keep us strong, keep us in the inner city. They don't want us to, expand. They don't want us to, create, be fruitful. That's not what the oppressor wants. You understand? And no man shall buy you, man. Let me get Psalms chapter 14, verse 1. All right. This is another precept for the ones that's agnostic. It says, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God. I'm going to read this again. This is the scriptures speaking. You understand? This is Psalms chapter 14, verse 1. The fool have said in his heart, meaning his mind, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So to the ones that's agnostic, man, the Lord is saying right here, is warning this people that the ones that say that there is no God, man, they do abominable works. They do no good. You understand? If you are living your life neutral, meaning you you're not going on the good side or the bad side. You just doing what the government tells you to do. You support the LGBTQ because why? The Christian church tells you, or the Lord is letting you know you're doing no good. You're doing no good to your people. You understand? The Lord is letting you know the fool has said in his heart, in his mind, there is no God. You understand? All right. Yeah, another scripture. So you understand that a fool will say that, all right? So Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord, Yahweh, is the beginning of knowledge, right? So what type of knowledge are you trying to say that you have if you saying that there is no God? Let's listen. It says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. The only reason why y'all don't want to go ahead and say that the God of this Bible is real and you don't want to believe in him, you avoid the history that proves that this Bible is telling the truth. Why? It's because you refuse or despise wisdom and instruction. When you follow this Bible, you get wisdom and you get instructions to live by. And it says, a fool despise wisdom and instruction. All right. Let me get Baruch chapter 4. Let me get Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. Salaki. It says, this is the book of the commandments of God, and a law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And this is a very powerful scripture because it's letting you know what this Bible is all about, man. It's letting you know that you're supposed to, in order for this law to endure forever, you're supposed to be teaching your children this history, teaching your children to keep the laws of the Most High God. That's how you know that this law will endure forever because your generations after you will keep the commandments, man. Moses was telling his people to keep the commandments of God. And he told his people, if you don't keep the commandments, all the verses at the 15, he told them, if you don't keep the commandments, all these curses shall come and overtake you. You understand? So keep the commandments of the Most High God, man. It's going to put us back on top. All right. Yeah. 1 John 2. Yeah. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. This is some instructions, some wisdom and instruction for your life. All right. The ones who claim to be agnostic, you understand, this is some wisdom and instruction for your life. It says, love not the world. Now, world means age, people, or society. So in this context, it's saying, love not this society. Man, don't love this society that you are in. Don't love this world that's telling you to support LGBTQ, to support, the things that all religions, you know what I'm saying, to accept them all. Don't support that Catholicism lifestyle. You understand? It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right, verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, man. You understand? Yeah. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, it says, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children, man. We need to make sure that our children are protected. We need to make sure that our children are protected. So in order for our children to be protected, we need to make sure that this law endures forever. We need to make sure that we are teaching our children these laws so that they can keep them. Because if they keep these laws, they will be protected by the Most High God. They will be considered righteous according to the Lord, man. Let me get that. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1, it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, man. What can happen to you if let me just keep on reading. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them, You understand? So if you want protection, man, be righteous, man. Being righteous is keeping the commandments of the Most High God, man. What can happen to you if you are in the hand of God? Can't nothing happen to you if you are in the hand of God. No torment can come to your life. Now, what's the definition of torment? Let me get it for you. What is torment? All right, no torment shall come to you. So this is the definition of torment: extreme pain or anguish of body or mind. Second definition, a source of vexation or pain. Third definition, the infliction of torture as by rack or will. Uh, Another definition, to cause severe, usually persistent or recurrent distress of body or mind too. You understand? Basically, we're going to go to extreme pain or anguish of body or mind. No torment shall come to your heart, man. No torment shall come to your life. You understand? We can reverse these scriptures. I mean, we can reverse these, we can reverse these curses if we keep the commandments, if we learn to be righteous, man. In order to learn to be righteous, you have to come into the school, man. Come into the ISUPK and just sit down in class, man. You ain't gotta jump to, put on all black. Just sit down in class and ask your questions. The Bible is your solution to your heart, man. To all that craziness going on up there, upstairs, man. The Bible is your solution, man. The understanding is your solution. You understand? Let me get that. Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. It says, trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart. You understand? And lean not into thine own understanding. Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Man, we acknowledge the Lord. We do what the Lord tells us to do. Our paths will be directed to the top, man. Our nation will be put back on top. You understand? Verse 7, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord Yahweh and depart from evil, man. What is considered to the God of this Bible of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what is considered to him to be evil, you need to depart from it if you are doing it and committing it in your life. In order to see a change in your life for the better, depart from evil, man. Follow these instructions. A wise man will increase his learning. If he follows the Lord, man, your learning going to increase. And if you go ahead and, follow the instructions of the Most High, your path of your life is going to be directed for the better. You're going to be protected, and no torment shall touch you. Ain't nothing going to happen to you if you direct your life towards the Lord, man. And He going to direct your path towards, a protected, righteous life. You understand? Verse 8: it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones, man. This is going to make you stronger. Having understanding makes you sit up upright. Having understanding makes you feel fed. You understand? Makes you feel stronger as a man. You understand? Having understanding keeps this sharp. It keeps it sharp and confident. You want to build your confidence. If you lack confidence, come and learn about the Most High God. Come and learn about a man of war. If you lack confidence, come learn about how to be a man in your marriage, man. Learn about just being a brother. You understand? Come learn about just being the man that the Lord requires you to be. You understand? Let me get another scripture for you agnostics. Mm-hmm. Because the agnostic, man, this brother today, I got to the brother, you know what I'm saying? I definitely planted the seed. And we did have to get back to work, but here's the conclusion to it all, man. The conclusion to it all is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Right? This is the whole matter of life. You understand? Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. You understand? If you love the Lord, keep his commandments. This is your duty. You understand? This is your duty in life. So let's get that. This is 2 John chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love. So this is what love is. You know, you claim to love the Lord. You understand? To y'all Christians out there, y'all claim to love the Lord. You know what I mean? And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. What does it mean to walk after his commandments? What it means to walk after his commandments, meaning you're walking in his commandments. You're doing what he said to do. You know what I mean? You're keeping these high holy days. You're walking into the Sabbath class. All right? You showing face at the Passover. You know what I mean? All right? This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye shall walk in it. All right, man. I'm going to end this class off with this one. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, man. And that's what we need to do. We need to gather together, Israel. Let's put our differences aside, learn about having some compassion, because we don't have no compassion on one another, and that's why we don't get ahead in life. The solution is to have some compassion, man. Show some love to your brother. You know what I mean? Show some love to your sisters. You understand? Because we are a nation that's not desired, man. Brotherhood and sisterhood is what's going to get us out of this depression, man. It's going to cripple our oppressors' economy, just separating from the Lord, man. We're supposed to be holy. Holy, the word translating to the Hebrew is Kodash, which means to be separate, set apart, man. We're supposed to be separate from all of these other nations, man. The Lord said, learn not the ways of the heathen. You understand? These other nations, we should not be keeping their customs. We should know our identity. We should know our God that our forefathers knew. You understand? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is your forefather, black man, Hispanic, indigenous man. And it's time to come back to his will. All right? Now, school website is ISUPK.com. Make sure you pay your tithes. You understand? It's a commandment. All right? And if any brother or sister need any counsel or have further questions and you couldn't make this class and you're watching it later, just it's the number in the ISUPK website. Man, contact that number, find out where the camp is near you, share this class, like it, subscribe to the channel. And Shalom Israel, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start at 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, on the command of Jenny and Hama. You understand? Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Katav to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua to the sisters. With that being said, Shalom Israel.